I decided very early on that the best way to live was in helping other people because it made them happy and it made me feel good. So that's what most of my inventions were for, to help other people. Have you ever helped somebody else by giving them food or money or clothing or doing some work for them? Well, if you have, it felt pretty good, didn't it? Well, I did too. You see, that's what I got to do by inventing things. I got to feel good about helping. I'll tell you about it. Our colony of Pennsylvania, like all the colonies of the original 13, was owned and controlled by England. It was England who made all the laws for us in their parliament. It might seem strange to hear this, but we were all English, all us colonials who lived in these colonies. Yes, we considered ourselves as English as if we had been born in London. My father was typical. He was an Englishman who had come to America to settle in Boston, in the colony of Massachusetts. Maybe your parents came here from another country, as my father did. It would be interesting to know all the different countries your classmates or their relatives came from. I'll bet there are a lot, because America has been made a much better place by all the different immigrants that have come here from around the world. I only got to go to school for 2 years. And when my father took me out of the Boston Latin School when I was 10 years old, I determined to learn more on my own. The key to that was reading. And I got better at reading as I grew. Maybe you have too. Nothing was more important to my successes in all the different areas of my life than the learning that I got from books. We don't change governments in the United States by force or by preventing people from speaking their minds. No military unit seizes power and appoints our leaders. We do. We, the people, by simply voting, as you will when you become old enough to do so. It is the most precious part of the Constitution that we left you, and it's your right as an American citizen to do it, and it's free. People have fought and died for the right to be here and live under this kind of government. Your job as a good citizen to be, is to learn about the history of your country and to be involved and informed about what's going on. Only by understanding America's yesterdays can you help give it and yourselves a better tomorrow. In 1773, a tax on tea became so hated and resentment by that time so high that a mob swarmed to the Boston harbor to prevent the unloading of tea from 3 British ships docked there. This wasn't a question of a few people dressed as Indians throwing some boxes into the sea. It was a mob. Over 5,000 angry men gathered around those ships, and over 10,000 pounds of tea were dumped into the waters. Now, you may be surprised to learn that I was actually opposed to this Boston tea party, but I was. We had no quarrel, I thought, with the East India Tea Company, whose property Sam Adams and his friends had destroyed. Our argument was with Parliament. In fact, I offered to pay for the tea that was lost from my own funds. And as I feared, this violent act, as many do, only begot more violent act. My life and the days I lived are part of your history. They belong to each and every one of you. Whether your ancestors came to this continent on the Mayflower, whether they were here as Native Americans to greet that ship, whether your ancestors or relatives were brought here against their will on slave ships across the sea, or whether your ancestors were like my own father, Josiah, immigrants to this country and land, simply searching for a better world. My life and our times belong to all of you.